Everybody, yeah, rock your body, yeah. Everybody, rock your body right.
Well, I'm a liar, I'm a boozer, I'm a bastard and abuser, and I'm wondering how much lower can I go? I've been beaten, I've been bloody,
I'm rolling up in here. I'm probably gonna get first place. I don't see any way I don't get first place.
Okay, today I am playing a tournament, a poker tournament, and with me to help us understand what I'm doing is Corey Ferger, and he knows what he's talking about because one time he got like 7th place.
It was 5th place, and thank you very much, and hello everybody.
Okay, Corey, we're starting off this tournament. Blinds are whatever, small, and I have 2 5s, so I make a raise, and surely you have no problem with that. Yeah, so going to a flop probably multiple ways. I haven't been paying any attention. I flopped 3 5s, so that's good, right?
Well, I mean, that's what I would expect from you. Nothing less than flopping the world.
You're gonna laugh. I actually had a little bit of trouble editing this vlog because I couldn't find a hand that I lost. Like, I was trying to make it even, you know, like some win, some loss, but I didn't lose a hand.
Well, I'm sure it was to no part in your effort for trying to lose hand.
No, I play most hands perfectly. This one I put out a bet.
So you put some money in when you flop a set.
Yeah, and I got raised because that's a skill. Yeah, so I get raised, and I'm just gonna call because I'm not scared of turn cards. I mean, there are some turn cards that are less less favorable than others. Like, I don't want, you know, like the 8 of diamonds, for example. That would probably not be a good card. But the 4 of hearts is a stellar card.
I would say that's a pretty good card. Almost as good as getting another 5.
Almost as good. So when he bets 1,500, it's probably time to pounce. A raise here seems in order. You could also just call and then hope that he bets the river, but I sort of hate, which is exactly what I do. I sort of hate that though, because I hate having to rely on someone else to bet my hand for me.
Yeah, I think given
which he does not do.
Yeah, I think given what the action was on the flop, the fact that he bet the turn, I think a smallish raise probably gets him to put a little more chips in. The diamond's either a great card or a terrible card, depending on. The bet size here, I don't know. I think it's interesting that he min-raised you on the flop, so there's not a whole lot of hands that he can have here that are going to min-raise you on the flop and then not call a decent-sized bet on the river. So I'm thinking you may have lost a little bit of value by not raising the turn, but all in all, a pretty good result.
Yeah, well, he ends up making the call, so I do end up scooping that pot, and I've said this in just about every vlog. Grace says if I win the hand, then I played it correctly. So here, the blinds are 75, 150.
Oh, hey Masters. Hey Masters, can you do everybody a favor? Put a mask on, man. Like, again, you're not Brad Pitt, but I mean, put a mask on.
It's 2020. Let's wear a mask, right?
Yeah, that's the official uniform of 2020.
I have Ace King now, and so probably gonna raise.
Usually a good plan. Can I ask a question everyone's probably wondering?
Yes.
Why is Queen 10 of spades on that felt?
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good question. So in this location, the hand that never loses, like how I like to get aces all the time. Well, they don't want to get aces here. They want to get Queen 10 of spades. It's like the house hand. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And
like legend has it, someone won a big pot once with Queen 10 and they just go for it all the time.
Yeah, except for, but specifically Queen 10 of spades. It's like they get Queen 10 of spades and the money goes in every time. It's just, it doesn't make a lick of sense. It's the weirdest thing. I could be up against Queen 10 of spades here for all I know. I get bet, it's multi-way pot and they bet into me and I was the pre-flop aggressor. So a lot of stuff on the turn I don't want to see, like spades and to some extent 6s and 3s. So I want to put in a raise here, and I do to 2100. Also, I could get some value from hands like Ace Queen, and that's a good result for me.
Yeah, I like the raise. I'm not sure I like the raise size. It's a small raise size given the pot size at this point.
It is. it's way too small. If that guy bet 1,000, I made it 2,100. I didn't see what he bet because we're talking.
I think it was 700. I think you maybe 3x'd it.
Yeah, you got me talking about nonsense here, so I'm not paying as close attention as I should. Here's another good turn card, though. 4.
That's another good turn card.
The 4 on the last hand, 4 on this one. Yeah, so I have to say the play here was, let's go with squirrely. They did things that, donk into you when you wouldn't expect it, raise you when you least expect it. So knowing exactly how to navigate these turn and rivers can be tricky against opponents like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you make the raise on the flop and you don't get, 4-bet shoved, you just get flatted by 2 people. You got to feel pretty good about where you're at. You got some information to tell you you're good there. I like the bet sizing on the turn based on the information you got on the flop. We realize it's not an overly strong holding on either part. Kind of hoping maybe someone had ace queen there, but it's much more likely we were up against like ace 6, ace 7, something in that ballpark.
All right, so now we've advanced further in the tournament. We're at 500 and 1,000 now, and that, I don't know if you saw on that last screen, that parentheses thing. They play where the big blind antes the amount of the small blind. I've never actually seen that before, but it was kind of a cool wrinkle. Sometimes when you play big blind ante, I know they say it's the same, but I feel like big blind ante tournaments play faster, looser, bigger than when everybody antes the same. So this small blind ante paid by the big blind actually worked pretty well. I kind of like it.
So what are we looking at here? About a 6-handed table at this point?
Yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7. We started with exactly 36 players in this game. So I remember this hand. Because I edited it, so I remember. And I think you're gonna rip me a new one on this one. So the flop checks through, which I think is fine because I don't have anything. Here I make a pair of 7s. There's 4,500 in the pot, and I bet like 75% pot, which is probably too big. I do get called by the cutoff, I think. I can't tell if he's got the button or not. I don't think he does. And then the river comes a pretty good card. It is a diamond, so that's somewhat concerning, but in a tournament, you just have to get chips where you can. So, saying that, I check, which is not what I should be doing. Looks like I go into check call mode here, because I guess I was scared of the diamonds, maybe the straight draw. But look what he has. He has 7, 6 of hearts. So, ton of value there, probably lost. I think he's probably calling a raise.
Yeah, the tough thing is because you're out of position, right? Because the board's so textured, I don't mind the check call, going into check call there mode, especially if you feel like he's likely to bet most holdings. I don't hate the lead out there either. You can sort of set the pricing, especially in a game where it's going to be more passive and there's less raising there. He's going to raise his monsters, but I don't mind it. You've played worse, we'll say that.
All right, here I open up with Ace-Jack offsuit, which is like, what, the worst hand I've shown so... No, that 9-7 was pretty bad. That was in a blind. Here I get called by... See this guy to my left? I can't remember what they call him, but it was something like Loose Larry or Every Hand Harry. It was something ridiculous like that. And he introduced himself before the tournament started because he had recognized me. And he told me his nickname, and I was like, oh, great. So having you to my left is gonna kind of suck if you play every hand, in the deck. That's not what he does. That name is ironic. He doesn't play any hands, and so. Oh, so like a small, like a big guy they call tiny, or like when someone says Adam Rude's good at poker. Good for you. But yes, just like that. So when I bet this 2,600, he comes along. When I tell you that I'm done with this hand, I mean I'm done with this hand. Like, unless it comes King 10 or Club, it's over. Because this dude has a queen every time. Is that like, minimum he has ace queen. Yeah, you're behind in every possible spot here. Correct. So we go check on the turn, and that's a good river card for me. Well, I'd say so. There's no way he's got a full house because he would have had to bet it on the turn unless he rivers. But there's no way he has 3 10s because he would never called the flop. So now I go for value. There's 13,800 in there. I don't think that he can call a ton. So I bet 2,700. Very, very small.
That's the worst bet of the evening.
I just didn't think he could have much.
Well, again, I think what we have to look at here is he probably thinks that you're going to bet that spot more times than not. Like we said, we don't think he has pocket queens, pocket jacks, or pocket tens. So his likely holding is probably ace king in a lot of those spots. There are ace queen, which against you, I think he's calling off every time. I would have gone for about 3/4 pot.
Well, ace. When I say I don't think he has much, I mean like he has like up one pair hand. I didn't know he had the ace king there like he did, but I was thinking like he had like exactly ace queen. He wouldn't call a huge bet on the river. So I bet small and try to get called. And it turns out I did waste a little bit of equity there because he rivered the second nut flush. Here. I have the king 7. There's not that many players left in the tournament, so I raised it up pre-flop and flopped a flush draw, which is sort of the problem here. Is I don't flop nothing, and so I don't want to put a ton of money in because I already had the chip lead at this point anyway, and it doesn't seem like there's much of a point to gamble. So I sort of hate it when this guy raises to 20,000.
So this has to be. Wait, he raises. Is he all in, or does he have more behind?
No, he's not. But he doesn't have enough behind him that he's never folding because he's got like whatever behind. I think he put on all of his red chips. He may have a 5. The red chips are 5,000, by the way. So like, this is kind of the predicament I got myself into now. Is I have a king high flush draw and no other way to win the pot. Like, I do end up shoving. He snap calls me. And I end up with, well, the board's wrong. The river's definitely a 9, but I put an 8. But I end up with a straight, so I have to fire my editor, which is me, but whatever.
What, you got 2 pair?
Yeah, he actually had top 2 pair on the flop, so that hand got us to 10-handed, and then the guy to my right who made the mistake of saying he's never been the bubble boy, busted, so, on the bubble. Yeah, so they paid 9 players in this, so. My camera died because this tournament lasted like 8 hours and it wasn't supposed to. So now I'm using my phone, which I don't like to do. And obviously not great with the angle. So we're gonna just stare straight down into the felt.
So what you're asking us to do is trust what you put on the screen is right. So we have to trust the poker player.
You mean the guy who just had a straight with 7, 9, king, whatever? Yeah, I promise I had a straight. So this guy limped under the gun with 10 bigs. I go all in from the one of the blinds with king queen, and look what he's got. Yeah, king 10, yeah, queen 10 of spades. How do you think this is gonna work out?
Oh, you're gonna lose. Oh, yeah. Oh, you lost. Oh.
Yeah, of course. So I'm no longer the chip leader now. By the way, Masters has like an ungodly amount, and this is the next hand right after that. So up there in the blur, you can barely see it, but it's gonna be raised here in a second. To 10,500. We're playing 1,600, 3,200. And then my buddy, who did not give me permission to say who he was, so I won't. He ends up calling it, and then I look down at the hand everybody says is impossible to play, 2 jacks. So I just rip it. Not really sure.
What's your stack size at this point?
Yeah, so I have 75,000. And it's 10,000 twice in there, so I rip it in there. And the bad news is, the Masters in the big blind jams for a ton.
That's never a good time.
He jams for that much, like just a ton. And now we got to decide. Well, we don't have to decide anything. But down here, this dude's thinking about what to do. And I actually say, because I didn't realize he was in the pot still. I thought he had folded. I actually say out loud to Masters, like, man, I hope you have ace king. Which probably, influenced action a little bit, but I didn't mean to.
Yep. Most people would find that would be inappropriate in that spot.
Yeah, it really was. I shouldn't have said anything. Anyway, the guy that just threw his hands in the muck had 2 10s, and Masters, of course, has 2 kings. So it's gonna be hard for me to win this pot without a jack, and I don't get there. So I actually go from chip leader with 11 left to 9th place.
So one of the things that I've been trying to do myself after after my sessions is I try to ask myself, I try to find something new that I learn after every session. I feel that's an integral part as far as improving and evolving and growing as a poker player. So, Adam, like, I guess my question for you is, after playing in this tournament, this 8-hour grind fest, finishing 9th after coming to the final table with the chip lead, like, what was there something that you learned from that experience that maybe you didn't have before the day started?
Well, not so much about the final table play, although I'm sure that I committed some ICM errors there, jamming those jacks, because there were some players who had far less than I did. You know, we're talking 10 bigs and stuff like that, but I was playing for, you know, everybody's excuse when they bust when there's ICM issues are, we're playing for first, which I was. I thought shoving there was the right play.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great point. That's something you and I have talked about before, right? When we run through hands in these situations, is there's less of a need to gamble when you're one of the better players in the tournament, and you're definitely one of the better players at the table. To your point, things were going smoothly. People were giving you chips. And
okay, so this tournament's over. I got whatever I just said, 9th place for $300. It was a $300 buy-in, so I just got my money back after 8 hours. Kind of a wasted day. But thanks for jumping on here and giving us your insights.
No, Adam, I appreciate you having me. Great seeing the hands. Great seeing live poker again. I know I speak for a lot of people when I say it's great seeing live footage. We all love, you know, killing time and kicking the rock down the road playing online, but it's great seeing you at the table again and seeing some real hands.
I appreciate it. We'll see you.
I tried to film an outro at the poker game, but we're in the middle of the country and you can't. I mean, it was just so dark. So unfortunately, ran my jacks into kings there from the big blind. Masters got me good. Deepest tournament I've played. I mean, that was so deep. That was crazy. Playing weird blind levels like 1428 and 1632. But had a good time. I want to thank everybody for inviting me. And if you guys do it again, I'll be back. So, in fact, they just texted me. They want me to go back to the game to vlog the rest of it. But the tournament is so deep, I'll be there all day. So, I'm going to go home and hang out with Grace. Maybe get a pot pie or Stouffer's mac and cheese. Oh, so good. Anyway, if you guys like these videos, do me a favor. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the comment button. And I'll respond to you. I will get back to you because I'm really good at doing that. What else? I think that's it. Appreciate you guys watching this far. If you made it this far, you probably enjoyed it, so I'm glad. It makes me happy to be able to put something out that you guys enjoy. So thank you very much. That's it for me. I hope I'll see you in 1 week. Who knows where we'll be, okay? Bye, everybody. Stay safe.